Did Jesus speak Hebrew? This fascinating topic has sparked debates among historians and scholars alike. While many historians claim that Jesus primarily spoke Aramaic, I'll share why I believe that not only did Jesus speak Hebrew, but he specifically taught his disciples in Hebrew. Let's break it down. Jesus came as a biblical figure, and the Bible, except for a few chapters in Daniel and a few other places, is written in Hebrew. As a central figure connected to the Hebrew scriptures, it makes sense that Jesus would have communicated in Hebrew, the sacred language of the Bible. Jesus' parables, which hold deep and brilliant meanings, can only be fully understood in Hebrew. For instance, when Jesus says, "Take this bread and eat, it is my body," in Hebrew the word for bread can also mean meat. This dual meaning is rooted in the Hebrew language, as seen in the verse, "My food for my offerings," Numbers 28:2, where the word food actually means bread, which can imply both bread and meat. Another example is the word blood, which in Hebrew also ties to the word wine. The connection here is based on the Hebrew word for red, which sounds very similar to the word blood. This sophisticated play on words would have been lost on those who did not understand Hebrew. Jesus often used wordplay that only makes sense in Hebrew. For example, when Jesus says, "Can these stones give birth to your children?" In Galilee, they pronounced "b" with a hard sound, making the words for stones and children sound alike. This clever wordplay is unique to Hebrew and doesn't exist in other languages. Perhaps one of the strongest pieces of evidence comes from the story of Saul, who later became known as Paul. On his way to Damascus, Saul had a vision and heard a voice speaking to him in the Hebrew language, as described in Acts 26:14-15. "And when we all had fallen to the ground, I heard a voice speaking to me and saying in the Hebrew language, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It is hard for you to kick against the goads.' So I said, 'Who are you, Lord?' And he said, 'I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting.'" This passage explicitly mentions that Jesus spoke to Saul in Hebrew, not Aramaic, Greek, or Latin. So to sum it up, Jesus was a Hebrew, spoke Hebrew, and taught in Hebrew. He was deeply rooted in the land of Israel. Even if we view Jesus purely from a historical or ideological perspective, his connection to the Hebrew language and culture is undeniable. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue exploring the fascinating history and teachings of Jesus together. Shalom.